Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and we're designandtechtips.com. We have a great one for you today. We're going to show you how to pop up any section from a button or any other element you want to pop it up from. I've got three little buttons here. If I click on this first one, pops up this little section. I'll click on the second one, pops up this section. I click on the third one, it's going to pop up this section. Really easy to do and no plugins involved in this today at all. So let's get started. I'm going to enable my Visual Builder. Okay, and to do this today, we're going to go over to Elegant Themes here, and I'll put this link down below the video. And they've got a little article about how to do this. If we scroll about halfway down the page, we've got some CSS code right here. I'm going to copy it from the beginning there, the B, all the way down the closing curly bracket there at the bottom. Control C to copy. I'm going to go to my dashboard. I'm going to go down to Divi, Theme Options. Under the General tab, if I roll down to the bottom, I'm going to put it in my custom CSS box here. If there's something else at the top there, you can either put it underneath it or just scoot down what's there. It doesn't matter. And we can put this on top. I'm going to give it a title. Not a bad idea to give things a title. That's / */ Makes things easier to find later on, or if somebody else is editing your site. I'm just going to call this Lightbox. I'm going to paste that code we just copied just down underneath. Great. Once you've done that, make sure and save your changes. And if we go back to this page now, if we roll down a little bit more, we've got a bit of script. A little bit of JavaScript here. I'm going to copy it from the opening script tag to the closing script tag right there. Make sure you get everything. Control C to copy again. I'm going to go back to where we were with our custom CSS. I'm going to roll back up to the top. I'm going to go over to integration. And where it says add the code to the head of your blog, I'm going to paste that in there. Fantastic. I'm going to save those changes. And it tells you exactly how to do this up here. I'm just skipping through it pretty quickly. So that's where you put your script and your CSS. Now, if we go back up just a little bit, it tells us to make something pop up, we've got to give it a class of ELB button 1. And the content that we want to pop up has to have a class name of ELB content 1. So let's copy this one. ELB content 1. Again, Control C to copy. I've got my Divi builder open here. Let's decide what we want to pop up. Let's pop up this little section right here. I'm going to go into the section, blue tab. I'm going to go over to advanced. I'm going to give it that CSS class. Make sure you put it in class and not ID there. It will not work in ID. So you've got ELB content 1. Great. What do we want to use to make it pop up? Well, initially I use these little buttons here, but you can use absolutely anything you want. You can use this module, for instance, if you want to, or you can just add another button. Let's just add a button underneath here. I'll leave it as click here. I'm not going to put a link in there at all. I'm going to go to the design and just pop it in the middle though. And over in the advanced, if we go back over this page, we need to give it the class name of ELB button 1. So I'm going to copy that and we'll go back. CSS IDs and classes, always under advanced tab. Again, make sure you put it in the class name. We can save this. Now when I click on this button, it should pop out this section into a little light box. So let's save our changes. And once I save this, you'll notice this section actually disappears because we don't want it visible until we click on that button. So let's save draft. And we'll go up and exit the Visual Builder. There's the little button we created. Just to show you, let's roll down to where that section was and you'll see that it's not there. Well, you won't see because it's not there. We've got that section and this section, and we haven't got the pop-up section. And if we click on the button we just put in there, it pops up that little section. Now we've got a little problem here. There is a little X to close it, and it's right here somewhere. You see my cursor change there. When I click on that, it'll close. That's no good. We need people to be able to see that really easily. Now the reason it's a problem is because there's an X there that's white in color. We've got a white background. So we can change that color. Let's get this blue color perhaps that's going to stand out on both a dark background and a white background. I've got a little color picker here. I'm going to copy that. If we go back to our CSS code, and it was in general, it was right here. If we roll down a bit, actually on line 25, depending on where you put yours, you've got a color FFF, which is white. And it even tells you it's the color of the closing icon there. I'm going to change that for that hex code that I just copied. Make sure we put a hashtag in front as it's a hex code. Fantastic. We'll save our changes now. If we go back over here and just refresh this page. And we'll try that again with the button. There. Now you can see this X. Perfect. And to add more sections, if we look over here, all you need to do is increment the last number up. It tells you down here. Here we go. So let's just do that quickly. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder again. Now let's delete this button. And I'll use these three like I did last time. I'm going to go in now. I'm going to get that class name. ELB button 1. And we'll delete that little button now. These are actually just text modules we made into round type buttons with a hover effect on them. So I'm going to go into this first one here. I'm going to go over to Advanced, CSS IDs and Classes. It's already got that from when I did it earlier. ETLB button. And in the next one, I'm going to have a section with a 2 at the end. And I've given this one. Same thing with a class. All I did was paste that same thing in there, ELB1, and change the 1 to a 2. We'll save that one. And I bet you can guess what I've done with this third one. Yep, you got it. Over CSS ID and classes, this has got a 3 at the end. So if we now rename some of these sections down here, once we're in the builder, that section that had disappeared, this one is still there. So let's get this class name once more. ETLB content 1. And let's go down to perhaps this section below. And we'll go in there. Over to Advanced CSS IDs and Classes. Make sure we're in the class again. And we give this a 2. So this middle button will pop this one up. And the next one, we'll use this little section right here. Going to go in there, CSS IDs and Classes. And funnily enough, I'm going to make this 3. Great. Let's see if we've done everything correctly here. I'm going to save the changes. And we'll exit the Visual Builder. And if we roll down, none of those sections should be there. Yep, they're all gone. We're right down at the bottom there. Let's go back to the top. And our first button should pop up that first section. There it is right there. Second one should pop up the second section. Got our little blue cross right there. Fantastic. Third one should pop up our third section right there, which is great. One thing though, if I click on this, I'd like to see my menu at the top there when this is popped out. So if we go back to our code, back into the theme options here, if we roll up there, it says top 0 pics there. Let's change that to perhaps 100 pixels. We'll save our changes here. We'll go back to this page and refresh. And we'll try popping up one again. And we've got our little menu at the top there, which is great. That way they can navigate to other places on the site. Same with this one. We could even take it down a little bit more. It's making my menu a little short there. Really easy fix. I'll give it another 50 perhaps. Got 100, let's make it 150. And we'll refresh this page again. And let's try button 2 one more time. Yep, that's great. It's not shrinking down my menu there. I'm happy with that. And number 3. Perfect. So there you go, guys. There's how to make a pop-up, any section, out of any module. Really handy thing to know. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.